Hey guys, welcome to this week's Q&A. If you've never watched one of these before and you want your question answered, all you need to do is keep an eye out on my Instagram. I'll post the Q&A cues on my story on my off days, and I'll always answer some on Instagram, but then I will save the brunt of them for the weekly Q&A that I do here on YouTube. So without further ado, these are all just straight off of the question prompt I posted on my story. So, this is a good first one. Tips to improve digestion, both on prep and off season. This is a huge focus of mine this off season, and something that I've spent a lot of time, free time, researching, because it's something that I'm genuinely interested in right now. And I will tell you, what I've boiled it down to in helping me. Just some really off the cusp ones are: one, first thing in the morning when you wake up, get a liter of water in you. This is a non-negotiable. Put water in your body first thing when you wake up in the morning. Second thing, with your higher fat or higher animal protein meals, take a digestive enzyme with them. It's made a huge difference for me this off season. Third thing, meal spacing. Make sure that you have at least 2 hours in between your meals. If digestion's an issue, I would highly recommend right around that 3-hour mark, though. Don't let it get past 4, though. First thing in the morning, and this has made a big difference for me as well, hit a digestion drink. And, if you want to know more about what I do for my digestion drink, there is a Tuesday tip out there on it. But at the bare minimum, when you wake up in the morning, you should be doing 10 grams of glutamine, a quality greens powder, some apple cider vinegar, and lemon juice. It's going to set your body up. It's going to set your stomach up to be acidic. It will help with digestion, and it has a host of other functions that it helps your body optimize. So those are the big ones that I've been doing and ones that I've noticed that have made a huge difference in my digestion. The final one is, especially in prep, whenever things get very important to maintain and keep as regular as possible, is, truly eating at the same time every day. That does make a big difference. Your bowel movements will regularize. Your body will get very used to eating at the same times during the day. It will optimize the functioning. So that's what I would recommend to improve your digestion. That's what I'm doing in this point in my off season. Okay, how to grow weak legs. I'm going to try and boil this down to one sentence. It's not going to be one sentence. To grow your legs, you need to find exercises that fit your body well, that allow you to continually add load and progress them over time. When performing these exercises, you need to do them in a controlled manner in which you're getting a full range of motion. In addition to that, you need to really pay attention to your recovery and your training frequency. Bodybuilding is full of people who want to be the hardest workers in the room and think that more is better, and a lot of the times that is not always the case. If you were just absolutely pussyfooting it in the gym, obviously, training intensity should be brought up. But if you feel like your training intensity is where it should be at, I would look at things like reducing your volume, increasing your frequency of the sessions, but reducing the volume, giving your body a chance to recover. You grow outside of the gym, not in the gym. Another good indicator of this is if you're, I thrash my legs, I couldn't train them any harder if I wanted to, and they won't grow. If you train legs and you're sore for 5 or 6 days after, that's a pretty good indication too that you're not recovering well from it. So just like it's not what we eat, it's what we can assimilate from. It's not what we can do in the gym for one session. It's what we can do in the gym over a period of time and recover from that leads to progress. So that's what I would do. All right, next question. How to prioritize a body part. So whenever I'm designing my training splits, I'll sit out, either with Monday through Sunday, or if it's not going to be a week split, just, days. And I will, place the prioritized body part first. So if I'm training, if I want to bring up my back, I know that I should never go with more than 2 days in between back sessions. I really want to, optimize the frequency on my back session. So I'll put a back session in there on Monday, and I'll put a back session in there on Thursday. And I'll put a back session in there on, Sunday. Oh, wait, Sunday and Monday don't line up. So, I got to think about making these fit the way that I want them to, but I want to prioritize the frequency and the optimization of the body part that we're trying to bring up. So it's a very long-winded way, I guess, of saying is prioritize the split. When you design the split, prioritize that body part first. Okay, next one up. How often do you incorporate intensity techniques? Very regularly. Throughout my entire, training career, I've used intensity techniques pretty regularly. My all-time favorite intensity technique is, forced reps. I'll get all the way to failure, and then I'll have my training partner help me perform, one forced repetition, or help me get that last rep that I can't quite complete by myself. That has been a staple in my training since I was in my teenage years. The second intensity technique that I really enjoy employing right now is rest pause sets. And typically the way that I'll employ those is within my training on the best movements, I say, like the one or two best movements of the day, or the ones that I think, give the most juice for the squeeze. On the back off set, I'll actually make that a rest pause set. So I'll perform as many reps as I can. Right now I'm taking, 10 breaths, so it works out to be like 20-ish seconds. And then I'll perform as many reps as I can again with the same weight. So always have used forced reps, and lately I've been really big on my rest pause sets. Another thing that I've done in the past, especially for smaller muscle groups like arms and shoulders, has been drop sets. I feel like those muscles respond well, not only to, big loads, but also, very dense periods of work where you're performing, a lot of work, driving a lot of lactic acid to the area, a lot of blood to the area. So next up, calorie increased based on weight gain or performance. So this is entirely dependent on where you're personally at and what you're trying to do. If you're asking about increasing calories, I will talk about, the instances that I would increase my calories in, and that is in an off-season setting whenever my lifts have stalled in the gym or my progress has stalled on the scale, or both. In the off-season, I don't get too alarmed if my weight is holding or, even going down slightly, if the look is holding or getting better and my performance in the gym is staying the same or getting better. It's whenever the performance in the gym is staying stagnant, the look staying stagnant, and the weight staying stagnant or dropping, that I would say it's time to increase calories. So it's definitely, a more holistic approach, looking not just at performance, not just at weight, but both, and seeing, how they're trending. That's my, mental process behind when I should increase my calories. Let's take one more on this, and then we will wrap it up. This is a good one. Why do bodybuilders do fasted cardio? Does fasted really matter? There's a big difference between what people think of when you say fasted cardio and what I believe fasted cardio actually is. So when someone says fasted cardio, people automatically assume that they're getting up at the ass crack of dawn and going to the gym and doing their cardio before they eat their breakfast and go on about their day. It is true that in the morning after sleeping, you're in the ultimate fasted state. But with bodybuilders, especially competitive bodybuilders, ones that are using things like fasted cardio for fat loss in the mornings or on contest prep, I would argue that it's more for a routine than the increased benefit of fat loss. It gets us out of the bed at the same time every morning. It has our digestion ripping from the time we get up because our body is functioning, moving, pumping blood. And that honestly, it sets you up for a good day. That being said, you can do cardio at times throughout the day in fasted states. And, that's what I think is important to consider whenever you're thinking about doing your cardio, is you want to be in a state where your blood sugar is relatively low, where you don't have a lot of food in your system, so your body does start pulling from your fat stores as soon as possible. My favorite time to do cardio and to put cardio in when I am truly trying to lose fat, like in a contest prep setting, is post-training. Not only are you completely depleted and, in a fasted state because you ate 3 hours ago and then had a big session, your heart rate's already extremely elevated, and when you get on the cardio, you don't spend the first 5 minutes getting your heart rate within a fat burning range. You are, huffing and puffing from the second you get on until you finish, and then you have your post-workout meal and you get nutrients back in you. So fasted state cardio is definitely beneficial for fat loss, but it does not have to be first thing in the morning. So that's my take on fasted cardio. And with that one, I am going to wrap this up. If you enjoyed this Q&A and didn't get your question answered, be sure to keep an eye out on my story, get another question in. I'll do my best to get as many as possible next week. If you did get your question answered, thank you for taking the time to ask it. I have a lot of fun doing these, and looking forward to continue keeping them rolling for the rest of the year. See y'all next time.